and welcome to the Ryan's Well Foundation podcast. We're happy you joined us today. We are co-hosting today. My name is Susie. I manage Ryan's Well Foundation Communications, and with me today is a singer. She's a Canadian treasure. She's a songwriter. She is a motivational speaker. She's a mother. She survived a lightning strike and a concussion. I don't know what else I can say about you. But she is Kellylee Evans. She is our ambassador for Ryan's Well Foundation, and she promotes Ryan's Well everywhere she goes. And Kellylee, thank you so much for joining me today and for being my co-host.
Thanks so much for having me. How's everything going?
Yeah, everything's great. It was a very long-winded introduction. It's just hard to encompass you in just a little bit because you're truly amazing. And we thank you so much for being our ambassador for all these years. And so we're going to talk today about a part of our work that maybe people don't know so much about. And it's a specific time that we chose to record this podcast because last Sunday was International Women's Day. Yay, women! And on March 22nd, as Kellylee knows, and many people do or don't know, it's World Water Day, and it's a really important day for Ryan's Well Foundation on our calendar. It helps to shine a light on the work that we do and the need for clean water. Still, so many millions of people without clean water. So the United Nations actually started with World Water Day, and this year their theme is water and gender, which we thought was so cool because empowering women is such a part of what we do.
Yeah, it truly is. It truly is.
Yeah. And Kellylee, so what prompted you to say yes to us and become our ambassador?
Oh my goodness. It's really like I'm sitting here and I'm watching it. If you know what day this is that we're recording this, it's a day of like flooding. It's probably like flooding. It's not like flooding, but it's like a lot of rain. It's a potential ice storm. There's a lot of water. Mm-hmm. And, we live in a space where we get a lot of precipitation. We take water for granted. We think that, it's just something that's going to be there. But there's so many people around the world for whom that is not the case. The clean water should be a right. It should be something that's so just, we take long showers. Run the dishwasher, like my kids are all doing their laundry. I'm not worried in the least about if there's going to be water tomorrow, or even later today. It's interesting too, because I used to live in a space where like I was out in Ashton, which is about 45 minutes outside Ottawa. Mm-hmm. And the home that was built really with the environment in mind. So it was a stack log home on not radiant floor heating, but on concrete that we had like big windows and the sun would heat the floor. We were on well water and we heated with wood and with gas. And and I didn't always have the money for to fill the propane tank. Mm-hmm. I didn't have, sometimes the earwigs would get into the well at the beginning of the season. You couldn't drink the water. There were times when I had some scarcity around resources, and that period of time, waking up in the middle of the night and realizing that the wood stove had gone out, and needing to rush to get the fire started and make sure the wood is all piled up. And I had a period in my life where I lived more with the land and also in some scarcity. And so I can remember all that, I can remember that. And I know how harrowing that was for me as a mom of 3 kids. I don't want my kids to freeze to death. Heating water on top of the wood stove to make sure that we could have a bath or things like that. Those things when I didn't have the money to be able to refill the tank for hot water or to, refill the propane tank for heat. Those are things I remember. And so being a part of this organization isn't really coming from this haves mentality where it's oh, those poor people. It's I know what it's like to live in some scarcity. I've been there. But I was also in a space where I just needed to get back on my feet. And then I could hook up things. You know what I mean? We could get the
Exactly.
well, we could shock the well and the water was still there. The well wasn't run dry, you know, and certain things could happen so that we could have the resources that we needed. I could get another shipment of wood in. Some people
Mhm.
don't have water so readily available. Some people don't
Yeah.
have that ability to do all those things. And like I'm talking as I was a single mom, you know, and I know
Mhm.
in a lot of these communities too, there's the people that are dealing with like the water shortages and the worry about resources tend to be the women in the family. So I do this, yes, because I think, you know, I'm so like just impressed with what this little kid who grew into a big kid, Ryan, was able to do, you know,
It's amazing,
with
isn't
just
it?
passion, with
Yeah.
passion, you know. But I
Yeah.
also do
Like
it
a
because,
6-year-old.
yeah, I think it's really easy when we have so much to forget that there are communities that don't have that much. And this isn't even like there are communities in Canada that don't have clean water,
Oh gosh, absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
know?
Many I mean, it's such a worldwide phenomenon, really. Our
Mm-hmm.
work is concentrated in such a small part of the world, but it really, clean water affects everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't have it,
That's
it's
when you
such,
know.
and
Yeah.
you know, having been there yourself, and you're talking to a former country girl here, so I was on a
So you know
well,
what
and
I'm talking about.
but you know, I always knew there was the water in the well, and it was going to come back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and talking about Ryan's Well Foundation and how the story, it's a story that began in 1998 when this little boy, 6-year-old boy, was just so hurt in his heart that there were children dying and people around the world that didn't have clean water. And the
I love
story is
this
so,
story.
and I just want to point out that I was at your last, there's a Ryan and Jimmy book. I've got mine here too somewhere and I can't find it.
Yeah, people find this story, you know,
Yeah,
this is the story of
yeah,
how this,
that's the
you know,
story
a
of
part of the
Ryan.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to mention I was at your most recent concert in Burlington, Ontario. If you
Thanks
have
for
ever been
coming.
at Burlington Performing Arts Center, and in the middle of the concert, you gave Ryan's Well a little shout out, and you said to the audience, "How many people remember the story of Ryan's Well?" And I swear there were hundreds of people there, and half the audience stood up and cheered. And I was like, "Oh, I'm so happy that
Yeah.
all these people are still remembering the story of this little guy who just with the naivety just a little boy. I mean, gosh, can't we all think like little children? And he just couldn't understand why, if he could walk 10 feet to the water fountain, why are these children around the world not able to get water like he could? So he started fundraising and getting his community mobilized. And 28 years later, here we are. And Ryan
Hmm.
is 34. I can't remember. He's 34 or
I can't do
35.
math.
Anyway, I can't remember. I remember stuff. But he's a father himself, and he's now the executive director of our foundation and just doing an amazing job.
Mm,
But yeah, like it's so hard to believe that in this day and age there are people that just don't have clean water. And
yeah.
I want to talk about how what we do affects women and how our work empowers women. You talk about you were mentioning how difficult it is sometimes living in the country and not being able to access water. Well, how about not having a clean water source nearby to where you live?
It's nuts.
Having to take
Yeah.
a jerry can, which is I've actually got some 25 kilograms, which is, and I've picked up some of these containers that these women use to carry water, and I can't lift them. They are
Mm,
so heavy, and it is primarily women in these developing countries. We work right now in Ghana and Uganda, in two countries. We've worked in countries all over the world, but right now it's concentrated on those two countries. And the burden falls on women in these communities to get up in the morning, early in the morning, and to walk kilometers. I mean, at least an hour there and back every day, several times a day, to reach a water source that they're usually contaminated. They have animal feces in them, and like I've seen images of them, and it's just disgusting. And they have to trudge that distance to a few times a day, bring that water home to their families. It's often contaminated. They get cholera, they get typhoid. So imagine having to do that so many times a day and not spend time with your children, not being able to get an education, not being able to participate in the community life. And so what we found at Ryan's Well Foundation is once we began our work, and we work with partners overseas that are just incredible. And they manage the surveying and the building for us. And we go over a couple times a year in what we call monitoring trips. And we just take a look and make sure everything's functioning well. But it was so amazing to see the results of clean water, what that has done for women in these communities now that they have localized clean water and they know that it's clean. And what has happened for these women is just amazing. They have time now to spend with their families. They can get an education. They can really plan for their futures. And they are put in positions of real leadership in the community as well. I mean, they form what's called WASH committees, water and sanitation and hygiene committees, and they basically run the show. I mean, they do education. Because you can't have clean water without sanitation too, right? So they teach proper hand washing techniques. They make sure that the containers are clean. All these things that connect to the whole clean water process and to how they get the water, and they get the water back to their communities. And now they don't have to, because they have a water source either by their schools or right in the center of their villages. So it's just astonishing what clean water does to empower women and to give them some kind of control over their own lives, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. It's amazing. Do you think you're ever going to go and travel to see like one in real life? Have you gone yet?
I haven't gone yet. I would love to go.
Me neither. Yeah.
Maybe we can go together.
Oh,
wouldn't that be something?
yeah. I met a lady the other day at a hotel, and she was telling me that she thought my people were from Ghana, and like nobody had ever told me that before. And my family came from Jamaica,
Right.
But she just kind of like gave like a history of why they think that a lot of Jamaican descendants are a lot of Jamaicans are Ghanaian descendants. So like
right.
so that would be amazing to see. Like it's always interesting, ever since I grew up here in Canada. I was born and raised here, but people always ask like, where are you from? And then I remember one day going to Jamaica, and they said, where are you from? Where am I from? Like, like from nowhere, like this idea that like not fully belonging here in Canada, even though this is my country and this is where I think I belong. And people saying, well, Jamaica's your home. And then I go to Jamaica and they're like, well, no, Canada's your home. And it's like, well, wait a second. And now to hear that, my people may be from Ghana, that would be interesting. So I wouldn't mind going back to see one day. Yeah. But for now, just like getting a chance to be associated with Ryan's Well is such a blessing.
Oh, we're so happy. And I actually have some statistics here. There's 1.8 billion people around the world that still lack access to clean water.
1.8 billion people.
1.8 billion people. It's just like, that's just incredible. So we're a small but mighty team. We're a very small organization, really. That there's 4 of us that actually are on staff, and we have you as our ambassador. We have a board of governors that oversees the operation, and we have 3 incredible partners overseas. We have Dawn of the New Age. They're in Ghana. We have RWIDF, which is headed by a woman named Helen, who
I met Helen.
We met Helen. We had her on our podcast one day, and she's just been elected to council. And she actually started the organization that manages our work, that helps manage our work and building wells in Uganda. And we have Divine Aid as well in Uganda. So we've got 3 partners who are just incredible and very, very women-centric. Like, these women are just awesome. It's just amazing what they can do when they have this chance, when they have this hope, to have a better life for themselves, to get an education, and for their children as well. You know, I was speaking to our project manager is a gentleman named Yessi, and he's actually born and raised in Uganda. And he was saying that it was one of his jobs to get water in the morning. He was just a little boy,
Mm.
you know, but it is predominantly women and girls who bear this burden. It's very much a cultural thing. The men in the village have certain jobs that they do, like providing the home and collecting wood and all the heavy lifting stuff, and it's the women that have to bear the burden of traveling to get this water.
Mm.
So that's so that is one of the facets of our work that we're so proud of. That really, it really inspires us that you know, especially in this time of crisis in the world, that we can just do this bit of good in this area of the world that's just worlds away from us in the West.
When you're
So
talking about the team, you know,
yeah.
and this bit of good, what kept
Mhm.
coming into my head was the other Susan, Susan Hurljack, Ryan's mom.
Yes, Ryan's mom.
Yes,
Mhm.
you know, and for me, like, she is such a huge part of Ryan's well, and just like her goodness of spirit and what she means to me and my family, you know, like at a period of time when I really wasn't doing that well, she came, you know, to minister to me, like, you know,
She took
with
care of you.
food and like bearing food and
I
kindness. And
know.
I feel like, you know, that, and his dad too. But we're talking about women today. If there's like a World Men's Day, well, that's every other day, right?
I don't know
So
if there's one.
we'll talk about Mark tomorrow. But
Yeah,
today we're talking about women. And so we're
that's
like,
right.
Susan, yeah, I just feel like so much of of Ryan's energy comes really from his
That's
parents and
she's
his mom.
really she's a
Yeah.
remarkable. She has been, and she really was instrumental in starting the foundation. She's still on our
Yeah.
board today, and still is one of our biggest champions, obviously. But she's also one of the two people, Ryan's parents, who said when he came home and he asked his parents to give him $70 for the well, they said no. Sorry, you're gonna, you know, we want you to learn something from this. If you're really serious about this, and they said we're not going to hand you money, you're going to need to work for it. So that was an incredible lesson that she taught her son and her other children as well, and
Mm,
look what came as a result of that.
yeah.
So she is just an amazing one. We love her. There are a couple of other women associated with the foundation that I want to mention. Nancy Prest, Mrs. Nancy Prest, was Ryan's first grade teacher,
I met
and
her
you
last
met
week or
yes,
2 weeks ago.
yes, and she's just another wonderful lady, and she gave the lesson to Ryan's class. They had to choose a humanitarian cause, and one of those causes was clean water. And little Ryan, who was so shy in class, put up his hand right away, and she was like, "Wow, Ryan never puts his hand up like that." So she encouraged him as well. She's also on our board and has been for a really long time. She last year, and we have a video of her taking a trip overseas to see that first well that she was so instrumental in helping Ryan achieve over at Angola School in Uganda. So she actually went overseas last year and was able to see that well and talk to the people and be the teacher again. So
Oh, amazing.
remarkable lady. And there's one other lady that I want to mention who is on our team. Her name is Connie Jensen.
Love Connie.
Connie is the best. She is our administrative officer, and she runs the show with the donations and all the tabulating, keeping track of all the finances. And she was a former neighbor of the Hurljacks and has been with the organization from the get-go. So there's some remarkable ladies. I'm glad we're paying tribute to them today too, because
Yeah.
they're really something else. So,
And
but
you, Susie, how long have you been with Ryan's Well?
that's funny. I was with Ryan's Well in 2013. I was there
I
for a year.
remember.
That's right. And then I went on to different things. And then after the pandemic, I was job hunting. I was out of a job for a long time, you know, and I happened to see this ad, and I thought that's my old job. So I wrote to them and applied, and they were like, "Oh yeah, remember you?" So lucky enough that I guess they have me back. So I've been back for this is starting my fifth year again back with them. So it's a thrill. It's the best job. It means so much to me to be able to make a difference at this stage in my career and in my life. And just to be able to do this work it's an honor, and it's an honor to know you're helping these people overseas who so need it.
And you bring so much passion and joy to everything you do, and like that's why they had you back.
Right back at you. Yeah. It's a lovely team. It really
It's a love fest.
It's a love fest. That's right. It's a love fest.
It's a love fest for a lovely team.
We love each other. We support each other in the team. We meet several times a week, and we're mostly remote. I mean, I'm here in Burlington. Yessie, our project manager, is up in North Bay with his family, and Ryan and Connie are Ryan's in Ottawa, and Connie's in the Kemptville area. So we're scattered about, but we keep in touch every single day through Teams, and we keep a close eye on. I mean, Yessie puts together these reports of what's happening, what the status is of all the different projects right now. We're coming to the end of the fiscal, and I can't believe it's the end of another year, but we start all over again April the 1st with
wow.
different projects that are going to be happening over the next year. So we'll be putting out some information on that. That's for sure.
Looking forward to hearing about all the great blessings that Ryan's Well is doing around the world.
So Kellylee, you're the mom of your mom of 3, but 2 of them are young women now. I'm the mom of 2 grown up, very grown up young women who are also moms themselves. So what would you say to your girls about Ryan's Well and the type of work that we do? What kind of a message would you share with them about it?
Yeah, well, with my children, like with all of them, I try to tell them just about the importance of giving back, and also, if I had to really just talk to them about anything now, it would be just when a lot of times people hear about water, they don't really talk about, they just think about the wells, but you brought that up. You brought up sanitation. Mm-hmm. And it's something that girls understand, and when I try to explain this to people, like I take them down to like the raw basics of it, like for a lot of these girls, once a month they're on their periods. And if they can't wash their hands, they're not going to school, so these wells also come with places to wash hands. Can you imagine like if you are on your period for a week and you miss a week of school?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's one of the things we do as well is build latrines. We go into these villages and we build sanitary latrines for, like imagine having no privacy if you're a young girl and you're on your period.
Exactly. Like, this is about women. For me, this is about women. This is about girls, and that's what my kids understand, as women. And I think a lot of women out there would fully get it. Like how can you be expected? I mean, for today we had like a snow day, and one of my kids decided like they were going to go in anyways because they didn't want to miss one day of school, so like we're talking about 1 week every month for some of these girls from age 11 and 12 up, right? You're not gonna complete your studies. And if women can't complete their studies, they generally, studies have shown that when a woman is educated, their families do better, across the world. And so we need these girls to stay in school and to become educated and be able to raise their families up. And another thing, it's like when you don't have a good education as a woman, you might stay in a situation that's not the best for you because you can't earn enough, to be able to take care of yourself and your family and your kids. So there's so many aspects, there's an educational aspect, there's just a health and safety aspect, but there's a security aspect, and there's like a
domestic violence as well. I mean,
this is what I'm talking about, girl. This is what I'm talking about.
It's such a strain on the family.
Yeah, everything's linked together. It's linked. Yeah.
So what we have to do is get our message out there. That's one of the things we do, which is why we do the podcast, which is why we do our social media, and our videos, and you participate in our videos and our social media, and that's what we do. And so if people are able to, and they would like to share our messages, we're always grateful when they join our social media. It's like a family, and we're everywhere. We're on
Come on
Facebook,
in.
we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Blue Sky, we're on X, we're on YouTube. So we are everywhere. You can find us everywhere. So I'm inviting all of you out there to follow our channels and get a feel for what we do as an organization, and joining us as a family. And so we're hoping that if you're watching us today, if you can help us by donating any amount, it is always so welcome. We but we organize our donations through Canada Help, so it's very safe, very secure. All you need to do is go to ryanswell.ca and click donate. You can donate any amount, no matter what it is. You can become a monthly donor. We have a lot of people who donate every month, which we so appreciate. You can donate securities, and it's very, very easy. We make it easy peasy for you. And Connie's our donations genius, and she facilitates and thanks all of our donors, because it's so important, we feel, just to thank these people who, we compete with so many different charities, and there's so many worthwhile causes, and we're so grateful when people choose to support our work. It really is. I mean, we just can't express our thanks enough to people around the world. We have so many supporters that have been around for so many years, since Ryan was just a little boy, and they're still supporting us years and years later. So it's fantastic. It really is. So I think what I will do at the end of this video is I will put some links up to our website. I'll put a link up to your website, Kellylee, so people can see where you're going to be performing and speaking, because you do a lot of motivational speaking as well, right?
Yeah, mostly for corporations around North America, but yeah, I have been, and sometimes in schools. So it's been great to go around and share my story of speaking about resilience and just like,
Right.
why I'm still here.
Because my gosh, you just worked through so much. You were hit by lightning. You were minding your own business in your kitchen, cleaning your counters.
Girl.
And good heavens. And you were hit by lightning, like
you know what? And that is another thing that people, don't know about. But in Africa, there are a lot of people who, are hit by lightning. I'm not saying I was in Africa being hit by lightning. I still haven't gone, but just in rural settings. Yeah.
Astonishing. And that affected you for so many years after that. So
it did.
You fell and had a concussion, and like you really needed that on top of being hit by lightning. And so you share your story of like you said, you're still here because you just got that quality of just resilience and just not ever giving up. That makes you such a great ambassador for us. It's just, you're such an example for women.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
It's just I don't know how you did it, but I mean, you just do what you have to do, and you just have that spirit that is, I'm just not going to give up. And that's what we're all about here at Ryan's Well Foundation. We're just not going to give up on these women, and we would like to expand our work if we can one of these days, if we get more funding in. The more women and girls that we can help, the better the whole world is going to be for that.
So true.
Yeah, so I'll post links, and I'll also post a link to the United Nations World Water Day site, which has a lot of, they just do an amazing job every year with all of the information that they collect and their messaging that they push out every year. We share a lot of that. So we want to thank you. Thank you, United Nations.
Thank you, United Nations. And thank you, Susie. And thank you, Ryan's Well.
Thank you so much, Kellylee. It's just been a treat co-hosting this with you today. I'm so happy you were able to join us today, and we will see you in the future in another podcast episode soon. And Kellylee, your website is
KellyleeEvans.com. Yeah, that's me.
So if you haven't seen this lady perform, boy, you're missing a treat. So
thanks, Susie.
She's around. So she's my dear friend. We actually grew up not too far from each other, and we were born in the same hospital.
Same hospital.
That is If that isn't coincidence or meant, sometimes things are meant to be, don't you think? And I think
I think
that when I
so.
found out that, I thought that's it. We're just a team that's meant to happen. So we love you, Kelly Lee.
Love
Thank
you
you
too,
so, so
Susie.
much.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you, everybody out there, for your support, and we will see you again very soon.
Bye,
Take care.
everyone.
Bye bye.